Peace, y'all. I'm literally sitting here waiting for each one of the devices to set up properly. I'm going live on multiple platforms. And I want to make sure that each one is set up. Okay, we live. Hey, YouTube. Hey, TikTok. How y'all doing? Instagram is not my friend right now. So we're not going to, I'm not going to do Instagram. But at least I have it on YouTube as well as on TikTok. Peace, y'all. I know it's been a while, okay? It has been a while. It's been like a week or two. I think it's been like a week. I don't know, like a week. My baby's under the weather, and today was like our first day where she's been like cooling with the gang, and she just woke up from her nap. So I decided I would share live at like 5:55. So if y'all been seeing 555, um, that's crazy because what I'm gonna talk about, I pull cards, y'all, before I start the lives. Or in the midst of me starting the live, I'll pull cards. One as a confirmation for y'all, but two as a confirmation for me because I just be wanting to have like just the extra confirmation. For spirit to basically confirm what I'm sharing, what I feel called to sharing. And yeah, but what was I saying? It's been so much happening, like in the energy and y'all's energy has been crazy. And that's why I took a step back. Like when you truly empathic, you have the ability to feel deeply. Okay. And because you feel so deeply, it's almost like you just opening yourself up, you know. And because I'm not gonna lie, I like being open. I like being connected to my ancestors. I like receiving all the messages. I like being present in my channel. I receive like a lot of energy. So I've been doing spiritual baths a lot of rituals, getting caught up on shadow work, going through these portals, and being able to be in a space and a rate with myself to where I get to see me and not be in a decisive measure. I want confirmation on that, spirit. Confirmation I'm conflicted. Ooh, it failed. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That goes right there. The title of today's message is The Star's Safety. If y'all know, peace is the star with the star balloons. My bad, y'all. I was over here talking, yapping, and I didn't even introduce myself. Mm. Um, peace is the star with the star balloons, okay? Yeah. Yeah. This is Star with the Star Blooms, okay? What's the reason why I repeated that 3 times? If y'all know anything about numerology, about gematria, however you decide to say it, words have a deeper meaning than just the actual word itself. The numerology in words basically allow you to basically perceive the message or perceive the words a lot deeper than what they are on the surface. So if you get in a rate where you find yourself wanting to be able to grasp like a deeper understanding of what it is that you're going through, processing, even sometimes what it is that you're just hearing and receiving, because sometimes you just may like on a billboard, um, in a book, maybe it might flash across the TV, and maybe the decal on someone's car, on a jacket, it may be on a license plate. It could be a lot of things where spirit will basically show up providing you insight, right? And one of the things that I recognize, because like I said, I've been healing, I've been doing like a lot of shadow work, and this was a great window. This has been a great window. Y'all, TikTok is like, it's so confusing for me because it moves so fast. It moves so fast, y'all. And I be trying to figure out, okay, what's going on. But okay, being beyond the surface when it comes to the words that you're hearing and receiving. A lot of times, if we don't know, we may not necessarily get everything that is there for us. And we may just brush it under the rug because it's like, duh, okay? So, star being the star safety, okay? Now, if you know numerology, you've already done the numbers, okay? Both of these words, star and safety, equal 13/4. Now, 13 is a karmic number. And because 13 is a karmic number, there's a lot of negative energy that could be applied to, or a lot of karma, let's say that. When I say negative energy, I mean internal energy that is applied to karma, that is applied to karmic numbers, okay? So not good and bad, but internal versus external. There's definitely some external things that affect it, things that have something to do with it, but at the same time, mostly, if not at least a good 80 to 90% of it is internal, okay? 13/4, however, is a really magical number. And the reason of it is because it's not a really drastic jump, but it's a good enough mix within the three that allow you to be at a rate to perceive what it is that you're creating and what it is that you're coming to an understanding of. One being the connection, the tether, the silver cord directly to spirit. It's the direct insight that comes from above. It's something that lives within you deeply. You don't really need a lot with the one. It's something that allows you to put on your pants and your shoes and go out there and go for it and go towards it because you have perceived the notion that can't be unchanged. You have your stains on this situation, and because of what I've went through and because of what I know, it's enough for me to go towards whatever it is that I feel called towards doing. But one sometimes, even though it's a leader, can be weak. And the reason why, all leaders need support. All leaders need a team. And in this rate, 3 comes as the teammate to 13/4. Now, the thing about the 3, numerology, 3 is very youthful. 3 is like, it's the baby, okay? It had an idea from spirit and it knows some stuff because it was able to receive an intuitive rate of connection from the 2. However, when it grows into itself, it doesn't really have its feet. And because it doesn't have its feet, it's mostly more intrigued about the idea of going towards and being in the adventure of something. That's the number 3, okay? And when you're looking at 3 and 1 merging together, they're 2 masculine, 2 external rates, okay? 1 is leadership, going towards something, having an idea, planting a seed. The other one is adventurous, it's youthful, it's fun, it's learning, it could be a mess, okay? But it's a unique thing that sets it apart from anything else, because it's two masculine energies creating a positive energy. Okay. um, Creating a feminine energy, which is the four, which happens to be your foundation. It happens to be your work. It happens to be your stability, your consistency. It's the steps that you've taken to create structure. And I call it the 4 points. It's the north, east, south, and west, but it's also the four elements. It's the water, it's the air, it's the earth, and it's the fire. There's a consistency, a culmination that comes in with the four that allows your roots, allows, the birthing of something, and then it also allows what it is that you've already perceived in something to be able to gain and grow its efforts and its feeding as well. The reason why this is important, a lot of times I talk a lot, y'all, about the inner child. I talk about healing the inner child. I talk about being able to recognize where you are with your inner child after you've perceived where you are with your inner child, how to be at a rate within yourself, moving forward and being beyond whatever it is that you've went through and grown through. And a lot of times it becomes blah, 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 blah. Because a lot of times we feel like, okay, once we get to this point, do you ever heal? And it's this idea of this nonstop thing that you can't really reach or ascertain, depending on how you perceive it. And that's what I'm here to talk about. If you've been through something, a lot of us have. If you went through some type of turmoil, if you've had some type of downcast circumstance that's left you at a rate to where you've had to heal anything, which all of us have, okay? If you went through something in your childhood that you're now at an adult age recognizing that it's affected you and that it's hindered you in some way, you have a rate of you that's wanting to experience something different. And in that, you have to, which is crazy, change your perspective. You have to change your perspective, okay? And the reason why we change our perspective is because of the rate of maturity that is required when you're going towards something that's going to allow you to keep the peace that you've worked towards to have. And at the rate that we're at right now, we're at the rate, they called it last night during meditation, my team called it the meeting of the great gatherers, okay? I'm going to do another live on the great gatherers, but at this rate, you are discerning. I don't care what rate of whatever it is that you're going through, you're discerning, okay? And when you have this heightened rate of awareness with yourself, you have a responsibility of being able to be in a space where you aren't questioning what it is that you now know to be true, okay? When you're dealing with yourself with this heightened perspective and this heightened awareness, it becomes sometimes boring because there's this perceived notion that things will just be right and get right because you've gained or you've created this environment or this space within or around yourself. And sometimes it don't always work like that. They don't always happen like that. A lot of these interactions that we have, a lot of the times, require us to be at a rate to where we're receiving something on an external level. And when you're dealing with things spiritually, it happens spiritually first. And a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to sit in something, to sit with it. Y'all, I've been seeing some of the biggest birds. I just seen a huge bird fly outside. Nature's talking to us, okay? That's another thing. Staying focused. Being at a rate to where I now know that I get to share what I want to share, that I'm not forced to share messages because people are tapping in my energy and I'm basically being forced to give people readings because they're tapping in my energy. This is what used to happen before. I don't know why I'm feeling called to say this, but I will share. Before, when I was on Instagram, which is probably why Instagram didn't work today, I would be on Instagram because I'm a medium and a psychic. People would come onto the lives and they would basically engage with me a whole lot on the live. And because there was this rate where they were like pulling on my energy. Like, I want you to give me this information. This is what I need. And it would almost sometimes be a daily thing to where there was this constant dialogue on an external rate. some of us have been going through this with ourselves, though. Okay. We have this constant dialogue that's occurring with us internally, where our inner child is speaking to us based off of a need, okay, and a cause and effect transactional state. So understanding that a lot of like your magic lives with your inner child, you have a rate of communication that you get to release once you perceive yourself at a different rate from within. If you go through without being willing to like acknowledge certain parts of yourself, you release parts of whatever it is that you get to have and hold. I'm gonna have to come back, y'all, because this is a distraction. This is a distraction. I don't like all of this. How do I exit? Then it's not even gonna let me hang up off of it. I don't know what's happening, y'all. I'm gonna have to do this over here.